If you've served our country and now you're dreaming of owning a home, this video is for you. I know it can feel confusing, the paperwork, the rules, and even wondering if you can buy a home. Maybe you're just tired of renting and don't know where to start. Here is the good news. The VA loan was made for you. And in the next few minutes, I am going to break down 5 simple steps. No fancy talk, no confusion, just real answers from one veteran to another. Let's dive right in. So what is the first step? I'm gonna go ahead and just write this here. Number 1, I think the first step is getting a copy of your COE. So I'm gonna write that down here, okay? COE, what is it, right? Why is it important? Well, the COE is your certificate of eligibility. And by the way, I have videos on this that you're certainly welcome to check out where I explain it in depth. But basically, the COE tells us as the mortgage originator that you are eligible for the VA loan. Notice I did not say pre-qualified, right? Because one veteran could be eligible but not qualified to get a VA home loan. So it's important that you check both boxes. Good to go. So how do you get a copy of your COE? Well, it's really simple. There's a couple of different ways. Number 1, you can get it through your e-benefits portal, if you remember your password, of course. And secondly, you can get it from somebody like myself, a mortgage loan originator who specializes in VA loans. So have your COE on file. It's also really important, in my opinion. Some lenders might not tell you to do this, but have a copy of your DD-214 as well, because the lender on box 24 is going to ensure that you have been honorably discharged, and you're going to go to the mortgage loan originator after this, and you're going to already have this on file. They're going to say, who did you talk to? You're going to say, I watched Jimmy Vercellino's videos on VA loans. Good to go? All right, so got your COE. Now we're going to move into step number 2. All right, pardon the writing there, you guys, but step number 2 is going to be to speak to a mortgage loan originator. Have a consultation with them and go through the process. Ask questions, learn about the VA loan, right? You should be able to get a good gauge on whether or not the person that you're speaking to is competent. And why do I say that? Well, because some lenders maybe haven't been trained on the VA loan, and you don't want them helping you out because, well, you might not ever arrive to your final destination on time, or even worse, if at all, right? So what do you do during this preliminary mortgage consultation? Well, that is your opportunity to kind of custom fit the mortgage to your individual needs. So one of the things that I like to do with my clients, right, is ask them, tell me a little bit more about what's important to you with this upcoming purchase. So for example, I want to learn, what is your tolerance when it comes to a monthly payment? If you say, Jimmy, well, I feel comfortable spending $2,500 a month, I'm going to share with you what that translates to in the form of a purchase price, right? Because you might be qualified to spend $3,000 or $3,500, but remember, veterans, at the end of the day, it's not Jimmy V, the one that's making the mortgage payments, it's you, which is why I say it's important to have a conversation about what that looks like and just, I guess, have a piece about the mortgage payment that you're going to be making for the next 30 years. Once you've spoke to the mortgage lender, right, at that time, you are going to submit a loan application. And the loan application is going to be done typically online. It can be done over the phone, but when you submit that loan application, the mortgage lender is going to pull a copy of your credit report. And they're going to ensure, right, that your credit scores meet the minimum credit score requirements for said lender. Now, Jimmy, really quick, credit score requirements on a VA loan. Well, guess what? The VA doesn't actually have credit score requirements. Well, Jimmy, why is that important? Well, here's what you need to know. Mortgage lenders do, and mortgage lenders' credit score requirements may vary from lender to lender. Some lenders may go as low as 580, some might go to 600, some might go to 620. So why is that important? It's important because if one lender tells you no, that does not mean that you can't get a VA loan somewhere else. I'd like you to know, if you'd like to reserve a free preliminary VA loan consultation with me, you're welcome to do so by clicking on the link in the description below. Step number 2, like I said, speaking to a mortgage lender, submitting that loan application, and from there, they're going to send you a list of all of the necessary documentation that you'll need in order to get your loan fully processed and approved. So that could be things like W-2s, tax returns, bank statements, VA service-connected disability, award letter, etc. And once they get all of that back, they will review, they will analyze, and they should report back to you and let you know how much you qualify for. Now remember, you want the monthly mortgage payment to fit by way of income and of course budget, and lastly, cash to close. Just because it's a VA loan, hear me out on this, does not mean that there won't be money due at closing. Yes, VA is 100% financing, but there are always costs associated with purchasing the home. So you've given the lender all of that necessary documentation, right? Blood type, firstborn child, you get my point, right? It feels like it, it's a lot of stuff, but now they've done their due diligence and they have pre-qualified you to purchase a home, which now allows us to move in to step number 3. Just like I talked about working with a mortgage loan originator who is competent when it comes to VA loans, you also want to work with a savvy real estate professional who advocates on behalf of veterans and active duty military. Too many times throughout the course of my career have I seen real estate agents advise veterans not to take advantage of their VA loan. I'm not down with that because they haven't been properly trained, or they're misinformed, or their agent or their broker told them about something VA loan related that is simply not true. You need to work with somebody one more time who is going to advocate on your behalf and celebrate the fact that you are a veteran using arguably the greatest financial tool that allows veterans to build and create wealth through home ownership. I digress. Once you've got that agent locked on it, now it's time to go out and do the fun part, right? Which is shopping for your home, right? So shopping for your home is exciting. Why? Because you're identifying potential properties that you get to make memories in, that you get to build wealth in, right? It's important that the property meets the specific requirements of the Department of Veterans Affairs when the appraisal is ordered. The VA is looking for 3 things. That the property is safe, no safety hazards, right? That it's structurally sound, right? And lastly, that the property is sanitary. As long as you check 3 boxes when it comes to VA appraisals, you shouldn't have any issues related to the specific health and safety code when it comes to that property that you're putting an offer in. So you've identified the target, right? You're now going to, with your agent, put an offer in on that home, right? And now, let's just speak by faith here for a second, that offer gets accepted. Virtual fist bump, boom, right? That is exciting because now you are under contract, right? Which typically takes anywhere from 30 days, right? Or less. Now, VA loans can be closed sooner than that if you need to, and it's highly important that you're rogering up with your mortgage lender before you go under contract to ensure that the time frame in which you're wanting to get the offer accepted and closed fits the lender's requirements. All right, so step number 4, you've made the offer, right? We've talked about that, right? You've now gone under contract on the property, and now once you're under contract, the mortgage lender is going to send you all of what's referred to as the loan disclosure paperwork, right? So the way I explain it to my clients is it's kind of like the dress rehearsal before the final act. The dress rehearsal is the preliminary loan disclosure paperwork, right? You sign all of that, you ensure that it's VA loan, 30-year fixed rate, the monthly payment fits, the cash to close fits, etc., right? You sign all of those documents, and then what we do is we begin processing your loan. So that gets sent to level 1 underwriting processing review for the level 2. That's where your conditional loan is approved. So for example, on the conditional loan approval, they might say, well, congratulations, Mr. Veteran, Mrs. Veteran, your loan is approved subject to these items, right? An updated pay stub, an updated bank statement, a letter of explanation for X, Y, or Z. I don't know, I'm just making things up, right? So during that time, you're going through the underwriting process, right? You're also ordering the appraisal. The appraisal has been ordered, right? Generally speaking, VA guidelines require VA appraisals to come back within 7 to 10 days or so after order. That can change depending upon what part of the country you are located in. So the appraisal comes back, we're speaking by faith here, right? It comes back at value, and now you've got that clear to close issued once the loan has made its way through final underwriting approval. Once the final loan underwriting approval takes place, that's where we order your final loan documents. So we talked about the dress rehearsal. Now it's time for the final act, right? That's where you go into closing, and this is where you celebrate, right? You celebrate, you sign your life away. Half kidding, of course, right? But you sign all of those documents, you sign up, you close on your loan, and now it's time to start building wealth, making memories in your new home for many years to come. Good to go? So those are 5 simple steps on obtaining a VA loan, right? This is where you go through the underwriting process. Step number 5. I hope you've found this information to be of value. My name is Jimmy Vercellino. If you did find this information to be of value, hey, do me a favor, consider showing your love, clicking like on the video if you feel like I earned it.